Hi, hello, how are you? This is the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole entity. Okay, well, I was back on the Netflix and everything and watching Worst Ex Ever. I currently watched one about like the worst friends, worst neighbors and things, and oh my gosh. But I only watched the first two episodes. I'm gonna watch the other two after, but I'm already seeing a pattern, and maybe it's because of my trauma, maybe it's because of all of the hardships I've had to face in my life where I have to say this, I have to speak my truth, and we need to find a way to get into the mental so that when people hurt us, when people invalidate us, dehumanize us, we need to go to court. We need to fight and make sure that justice is served. But in episode one and two, oh my gosh, you need to watch this because I think you're gonna like at least absorb and learn some things from these stories too. But in both of these crimes, actually, I'll do a deep dive on the Nerd Channel. Both of these cases, there were criminal charges along the way with the jerks that were involved in these cases, but the exes didn't want to face them or they didn't were too nervous or intimidated or just the way that they were just saying that they just could not face them. They didn't want to have to be in the courtroom. They didn't want to have to say the whole story over and over again. And whew, with my youth, like I started this YouTube channel so I could tell my story because of years of people saying I was lying. Trust me. Oh, once I can find the right lawyer and once I can take down the doctors that did what they did to me, oh, it's going down. It's going down. Every cent I can get, they're going down. Because this is one reason, but it maybe it's because I'm using this platform to let people know my hardships and the judgment and the ridicule and the accusing. Because remember, for over 35 years, doctors told my parents, told me to my face, I was lying. I wanted attention. I was just like, yeah, just, mm. And they said that's she's walking like that because she wants you to look at her. She wants you to give her attention. She's just lying. She's making it up. And then the household trauma because of that. I was blamed for walking the way I did until I could not walk anymore. But do you think I'm going to be too nervous? And you know what? My anxiety, I might get nervous, but no, I'm doing it. Especially everything I've had to relearn, everything I have to like now, I have to literally walk with a walker. I have to have a scooter. And it's like some of my family members, oh, you would probably have to do that anyway. No, 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 no. You're part of the issue, and you're part of the reason I am how I am because people keep saying, well, we didn't have technology back then. We couldn't have known what was wrong with you. The fact, the simple fact, that for over 35 years, doctors and family members said I was lying. No one listened to me. No one listened to me. So that alone, I deserve justice. Being punished, and even doctors laughing at me, and doctors telling me, go home, lose weight, go home, walk it off. Oh, you're crying about nothing. Oh, you just want attention from us. Why don't you find a man or a husband? You said you're not married. Find a husband, get his attention. This is all what doctors have told me. And I'm gonna do like a quick synopsis of the two cases. Gonna mix them up and everything, so you watch them separately and stuff. But it just breaks my heart because with one of the cases, that man should have still been in prison. Maybe if he was in prison, some of the dominoes wouldn't have taken effect because, like I said in previous videos, it's like dominoes. If one's not knocked over, the next one's not going to be. But once you start it, that's how things take effect. And so, with episode one, yeah, this guy was a nutcase. I was like, he needed some mental help. He needed a he needed two or three therapists because I think with the one therapist, she would have needed a monthly vacation to ease her mind, or at least her own therapist, so she can be like, "Oh, okay, I need a massage, I need a therapist, I need just like some mental food, because yeah, it's like, hey, you have that dish that you eat to feel better, to ease your mind, okay, okay, because I know I do. Maybe that'll be a different episode, I don't know, but anyway, it's like this one guy, he was going around like one girlfriend. Next thing you know, physically traumatizing her. Another one, like he met another one at a job in Las Vegas, and then physically traumatizing her. One of one of the women, he shaved her head. He got on top of her with like a razor and shaved her head and told her, "Now I know no other man is gonna come up to you. Now I know no other man's gonna want you." But then she didn't want to go to, like, she filed a restraining order, but then, like, see, we need to change. Like, and this is why different subjects, I don't care. But when it comes to defund the police and stuff, I was backing it because it's like, yeah, I don't feel like maybe defunding is the wrong word, but restructuring, retraining, reevaluating the system because this guy who physically traumatized her lived in the same house, but then she had to file a restraining order, but he refused to open the door because he was at the house, but he refused to open the door when the police came to give it to him. So they just put it on the door. So then she was scared, like she's in her driveway, too scared to go to her own house. So then she finally gets into the house. She gets into her bed. And then I was like, because part of me was just, I would have packed a bag and went to a friend's house. But you know what? Here or there, she did it. But then while she was sleeping, got over her with a pair of like, whoo, and then kept her captive for days. Kept her captive for days. And then she was scared to go to the courthouse. Trust me, I understand. Ooh, I dated some exes you would not believe. Well, Lockakey, oh, he was, yeah, yeah. But at the same time, justice needs to be served. And because she didn't go to the courthouse and handle everything, they knocked down the charges. And then they already said, oh, you already served 2 of the years. And I think it was only 3 or 4 years. So then he was out within a year. And then he went back and started doing the same thing and then eliminated 2 other people from the earth. Like, absolutely crazy what this guy did. But I feel if she had went to them and told them, literally, he kidnapped her, kept her captive, cut off her head. Like, and I know that like some people are like, oh, okay, like, it'll grow back. Okay, forcing her head down and shaving it off. And then she got to the point where she stayed quiet. She stood still because yeah, he also um physically traumatizes her body, bruises and everything. So it's like he is. the way that, because there was more than one woman that was being interviewed in this episode, and just the pattern of the injustice of how he just treated them like anything, like he could, like, and I don't know when I'm gonna go over this because I was thinking of with one of my books, trying like covering a similar type of scenario, but then I would have to. And so it's like, so see, I do understand because I was kind of almost in that situation. And because well, I say almost because I was able to dodge, but I wasn't because he started following me to my jobs and everything. And yeah, so I don't know, just to me, it's like justice. Get your justice. Like, I can't wait to get my justice with the doctors. Oh, I want to look them in the eye. Well, I'm going to show, like, I was debating if I was going to show the pictures that I can find of the doctors that mistreated me and allowed me to get to this point. But part of me is like, you know what? These doctors looked me in the eye and told me to just walk it off. Nothing's wrong with you. You're making it up. When I was in absolute pain, when some mornings, it's like, I remember I was getting ready to, I had to work two promos that day. I had to crawl to the bathroom to turn on the the faucet for the bathtub and everything, just to like. I kept like hitting my knees trying to wake them up. I kept patting them and like not, or not necessarily to wake them up, but it's like usually it's like it's in so much pain. But I started learning and seeing like different ways to at least get them going to be able to work. And so yeah, part of me is like, you know what? Being able to show their faces is my part of my justice. It's like I don't know if I'll ever be able to take them to court because everyone keeps telling me, "Oh well, they didn't know any better. Oh well, how we didn't have the technology." And it's like, because even when I tell, like, they should have listened to me. Well, you were just a little girl. It's like they thought you were just making up stories because you don't look like anything should be wrong with you. You look like you should be normal. And then I say, what about high school? What about college? What about when I'm in my 20s and my early 30s? I'm still making it up. Well, now it's in your the roster or the uh I can't think of the right word at the moment. Sorry, my mind is going everywhere on this topic because I'm picturing the doctors and who I can't wait to do. Like, I'm gonna get to that. Which month is like? Is there a National Doctors Month or week or whatever? I was gonna wait till then. Also, I have tons of stories. So, but yeah, okay, I'm gonna get petty because December Doctor, December Doctor. I might do that because ho ho ho, haha, petty petty petty. But anyway, I'm just at a point where I watched these two stories, especially the second story. She broke my heart. If I can get my business together, if I can make enough money, I want to call this woman up and be like, you know what? Let's open your store back up. We can find another location. It's like, don't worry, I got you marketing. And like, you know what, in the streams of income, let's start, like, once we can get you to start going, let's start hiring for catering. Let's get some people that will be great for like servers, and let's do some weddings. Let's do some like activities and events and stuff like that. I got you. It's like, were you able to get that house back that bastard let you, like, forced you to put it under foreclosure? Were you able to get that house back? If not, like, let's work on that. Let's see if it's back on the market. And it's like, cause, oh my gosh, you do not know. I was so heated. I was so frustrated. And yes, I'm still I'm starting from the bottom from after. not being properly diagnosed and having to spend almost every single penny I had. Like, that's another reason I want to sue and take him for justice. I had to spend tens of thousands of dollars, and to the point where I'm literally I had to start over. I'm starting my businesses while I'm starting all over. But I'm bullheaded. I'm stubborn. That's one thing my parents could not stand. But now I find it as a blessing because I'm gonna get where I want to get. I'm gonna do what I need to do, and I'm gonna do what I want to do. And one of them is going to call for justice. I'm gonna put their faces, their names out there because they had the nerve. I Yeah, and so that's why with these ladies right here, I'm watching their stories, I'm listening to them. No, it's like, yes, you may not want to tell your story, but your story's gonna help other people. It's like maybe later on you can even have laws and you can help like the police in different ways to the point where the police can serve us better. Because oh yeah, I didn't get back to the defund. Like like when I think of defund, I think to reorganize everything. And if I lost you by now with the defund, hey, bye bye, sayonara. But a mental health department, or for those like sometimes I know like last month, if I could find the story, but there's a lot of stories of when people who are having mental episodes, they need the police, so either them or a family member, they call and they say that there is a mental situation going on. But they say they're not going to harm anybody, nothing's going to happen. They're just a mental episode. What happens? What happens? The person gets passes away because one of the police officers takes out their boom boom and they boom boom until that person's no longer here. So um, that pisses me off. But anyway, and so even with the things going on with the schools right now, I don't want I. It's really sad when I'm like, we need more police in schools, but we shouldn't need police in schools strictly because it should be safe in the first place. But can we have people in charge of organizing or creating a system or a way where they can maybe like create a system where all the schools in the state can like okay, maybe metal detectors or maybe like a mental health like activity room like for those like if they're being teased or something, maybe there can be special counselors or special people who can even bring the bully in and talk to them talk like I mean, maybe that won't help. I don't know, but like having departments where we work on the mental and even with domestic violence, it's like maybe we need like people who specialize in or go to college in that area to be trained. And like, especially for the women who are harmed, who then are mistreated or like the abuser tries to come back and stuff. So, so that's what I like when I say it. I just say that we, especially with the second case, when this woman was in jail for almost 200 days, she was innocent. He framed her. He framed her. Oh, and that's why, like, one reason why, like, when she said she couldn't go, she didn't want to negotiate, like, whatever money they gave her, she was happy. Okay, I'm Patty. Girl, get the police knew this guy was possibly lying. They had they had his ex they they had her ex boyfriend's name on file in the document from day one. But then they kept on calling her a liar. I think that's another reason why the second episode hit home with me so much. Because everyone kept calling her a liar, and the entire time she was telling the truth. And especially like for over 30 years, 35 years, everyone kept calling me a liar. But I was telling the truth the entire time. So I wish I could have been their friend and I could be like, girl, I will hold your hand. I will do like, okay, what do we have to do to get you into that courtroom? What do we have to do to help you get into that negotiation? Because they did you wrong. Yeah, people are gonna be like, oh, the Christian thing, the Christian way. Like, okay. Well, are you gonna say that after you've been locked up for almost 200 days and you're making like your daughter is at home without you, wondering if you're okay? You lose your restaurant and your house is under foreclosure. Are you still gonna say that? Because no, I would have been in that room. I'm like, okay, time to negotiate. Mm. Because and even brought my daughter like, okay, yeah, we need enough money for her college fund all years. Oh, and she's probably gonna need a master's or want it like, honey, do you want a master's? Yes. Okay, yeah, baby wants a master's. We need enough for the master's. Oh, and I want to get my restaurant back up. So yeah. And actually I want more square footage. Yeah. And yeah, it's like and that's only a start. Because the police messed up and they knew they didn't care about her. They dehumanized her. They brushed her to the side. Even when they were showing proof, she was 100 miles away from one of the situations. 100 miles away. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Like, come on now. But, and then they went to the judge. It's like I'm still baffled. Like, okay, judge, what you doing? Like 100 miles away, and you still want to blame, like, this doesn't, and they have her on camera because she was at the casino. She would know she was rolling that dice, kitty girl. Like, I hope she had a good night at the casino too. But anyway, it's like I don't gamble. Some of my exes gamble, but then they lost all their money too. So yeah, okay. If you gamble, be careful. If you have an addiction, get help. Okay. So I like to get the food. I don't know, like, yeah, it's like they know how to find the right restaurants to be there to lure you in and everything. But yeah, I want to go for the food, just like on the cruise ships. Anyway, um, yeah, I would have made sure that I got everything I deserve, and maybe because that it hits home because I was in her situation, but from a medical aspect. But get that money, get that justice. Because, yeah, the first one, her man should have been in prison for so many more years. The second one, he's at least, yeah, he is now going to prison. Oh, yeah, because, he also raped her. He raped her. So, yeah, he's in prison now. Don't drop the soap. Or do. After everything he put her through. I hope that soap is very, very slippery. And some people might say, yeah, that's not the Christian. Like, you know what? I'm not saying I hope that happens to him. I'm not saying that at all. But it's just frustrating when people just feel like they can bully and torment and do anything and everything. But then when it comes back around, oh no, don't punish me. Oh no, not me. Oh, it's like, yeah, I got caught, but dot dot dot. No, not today. It's like, so yeah, I'm not saying that I hope, but at the same time, he paid off, or he didn't even pay him either. He's just like Trump. He told these people to fake, fake some situations and put them on her. Didn't even pay him either. It's supposed to be like $20,000 each. Oh, didn't pay a penny. Just like, yeah, I guess we know who he would have been voting for anyway. But on that note, this is the Handicapable Black Woman. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human, and I deserve justice. You deserve justice. So just try to make sure you have your receipts, try to make sure you have your evidence, and also make sure you do right too. So I try to do that on a daily basis. So sometimes with some of these awful crazy, like these men who write me, like you're gonna get some more dating nightmares. Look at my dating nightmares. The screenshots I got, see, and I see those are my receipts too, because people thought I was lying. Don't think I have over 200 or 300 screenshots of awful messages from men. Bon appetit. Petty tastes delicious.